Akame got killed, episode 19, Kill Fate. Definitely a crazy episode. I think this was a really fun episode, and it did a lot more than I was expecting from the last episode, but I figured there would be a couple of important things happening. The final demon, whose name I believe was Suzaku, or Suzuka, it was one of those variations, she didn't have as much of a role as I expected. I really thought for sure, like, oh, they're saving her, excuse me, she's going to be, like, really powerful and stuff like that. And seemingly she was, because she was going up against Tatsumi, and it was like, killing these people off is, like, one thing, but, clearly that wasn't you. And I thought she would kind of whip out some really awesome power. She didn't even seem to have a power, at least not that we got to see, because she was basically killed off, and that was it. Like, when she first fought Tatsumi, he's like, flying at her, punching, and he's all armored up and everything, and she's just like doing this like it's nothing. I'm like, okay, clearly she's really strong. And then he's basically trying to escape from her because she's so powerful. Like, when he comes down with the spear, she just does like an instant reversal and slams him into the ground. And I was like, I like this character. She is really strong, like I thought, and she has like just crazy reversal skills. Like, she reversed it as if it was like a little tap, like he was just like meh. But he's coming down with full force, and she was just like, boom, and just flipped it in a second and slammed him into the ground. So I was looking for a lot more out of her character, to be totally honest. And, Tatsumi still beat her in a really awesome way because he couldn't defeat her naturally. So she was really powerful, but we didn't really get to see, like, a huge extent of said power. Like, we got to see that first moment. And then after that, it was Tatsumi running from her into, like, the stone palace or whatever, it was. And him destroying it, and then poof, she got crushed. And honestly, I didn't think that would happen because of the weird reversal she did on him, where basically she flipped all of that energy into nothing and, took him down. I thought she was going to look up and then just, like, shatter, the rock or something, because she'd also have super strength. And I was like, nope, she actually died. And I was like, well, that's weird, because I would have thought she'd have, like, super strength or something, considering, that weird reversal. And her being able to, like, block Tatsumi like it was nothing. Because even if you're able to block him, like, that should still have an effect on you because he's in, like, an armored suit. And it was just weird to me. I was like, man, she just got crushed, and it was nothing. But it was still fun to see him do that because that was kind of cool. And he's just destroying the entire thing, and she ends up getting killed by that. But it was fun. But then we have Mine versus Seryu, which I wasn't expecting, to be totally honest. I didn't think that was even going to happen in this episode. And that was kind of the big thing. And I loved that part. It was really cool. They're killing off more and more of the Jaegers. So at this point, we only have, I believe, like, I guess 4 people left? Yeah, we only have 4 of them left. And it's pretty interesting. We got to see everybody in this one, except the wing guy. We didn't see him in this, but we saw Esdeath in it. Seemingly, we're going to get to see Esdeath versus Najinda in the next episode, which I can't wait to see that. That I'm pretty excited to see. But we got Esdeath, we got Wave, we've got Akame's sister, whose name I totally can't remember, Kurame. So, we got all of them. We got Seryu. Who knows where the wing guy is. But it was pretty cool. Like, it was really interesting to see all the characters at least fight a little bit. Like, they had a couple of different action scenes where it was like when they had Kurame during her first scene, and it was Susanoo, Susanoo. He basically, it just started off and it's like boom, he took out her puppets, and then he was about to take her down, and then Wave came in, and then it was like, all right, that scene was seemingly over after that as well, and it kind of cut back to something else. So we didn't see that full scene. And then when Esdeath found out what was going on, it was like, oh yeah, Akame and Luwak are, probably dealing with the minister right now, and it's just like, Akame killed his bodyguard, and it's just like, oh, his neck snap, he's dead, everybody's dead, and it's done. And I was like, they skipped past a lot of important stuff, it seemed. Just like them doing this whole mission kind of ended up boiling down to, here's a clip of this, here's a clip of that, Mine versus Seryu, and then like Tatsumi versus Suzuka. So it was like a little bit of him and her, and then Mine and Seryu is the main thing, and then everything else was just like, here's what's happening, cut from that, here's something else, cut from that, mission complete, we're done and out of here. So it was kind of funny going through it, and I was like, man, I would have liked this episode. Admittedly, I kind of would have liked this to have been stretched out because I would have loved to have seen more of those action scenes. Like, even with Kurame, I know that wouldn't have been as big of a deal because, of course, she was weakened, so she probably only could summon those two puppets because she's still in her weakened state. But the stuff with Wave seemingly ended super fast and it kind of went nowhere. And I guess they're gone because I'm pretty sure that was the same room at the end of the episode that Esdeath was in, and nobody was in there. So it's like, well, what happened during that fight? Like, why'd they all break apart, and then Esdeath went in there on her own or something? So it was like, just stuff I was wondering, like, what happened in between because things were just happening all over the place. So I would have liked for it to have actually been expanded. I wouldn't have minded waiting to see what happened between mine and Seryu if they wanted to expand some of the action, because that's it's a great part of the series. And plus, I would have loved to have seen Wave fight because we really haven't seen him fight except for the one time he went up against Tatsumi, and that was it. And then the other time he got launched into the sky like Team Rocket, and then this one he transformed, but we didn't really get to see too much of it. So it's like I would have loved to have seen him fight. Them taking out the minister and his bodyguard probably could have been done in that one scene because I'm sure they may have gone through other bodyguards though, which I think would have been cool action-wise for both characters. Just seeing how they kind of cut through the people and stuff like that. But that I can understand being like 2 seconds, like, oh, bodyguard dead, snapped his neck, and they're done. So that I can understand. But I would have definitely enjoyed seeing some of the action scenes just expanded, like seeing the beginning of the battles, because every battle outside of Tatsumi and Mines, everything else was just like right in the middle or at the very end, except I guess for Esdeath and Nachinda, and I guess, like I said, they're going to be starting their fight in the next episode. But it was definitely enjoyable. I certainly loved it. Mine was super awesome in this episode, her fight against Seryu. We got to see all of Seryu's abilities in this. And I love Seryu as a character. Like, I wish she could have been one of the good guys. Like, this is one of those stories where it's like, man, I really wish some of these characters could see what's really happening and become some of the good guys. Because I loved Seryu as a character. And, we have, like, that first episode with her and Tatsumi, and it's just like, she's such a nice person. And then the next episode when she runs into Mine, and I honestly can't remember the other woman's name who she killed, but when she runs into them, it's just like instant switch, and that's how she is the rest of the series. Whenever it's Night Raid, evil demon face and everything, and it's just really crazy. But I still liked her character. She had awesome weapons too. Like, I loved seeing her switch weapons and stuff, and she pulled out basically a missile was on her arm, and she launched a missile at Mine, which I thought was crazy. But it was really fun. Like, it was great to see them fight. We saw other components to Mine's weapons and stuff where she switched it to like a machine gun instead of a laser rifle. And I thought that was really sweet. And then she switched back, and we got to see it where she could control the laser. And she mentions how if she has more emotions, it makes her weapon more powerful. And I thought that was really cool. So she just, it's almost like a blade in itself. When she has one end to it, it's like a machine gun, but the other end, if she has enough power to it, she can actually move it like the end of the gun, and it'll be like her moving a blade. And I thought that was really cool, and she just slices them both in half, and then she has to take off because she almost gets killed by Seryu's number 10 weapon. Everyone always has like a crazy final bomb explosion in this, but she ends up getting saved by Tatsumi, and so they both end up surviving, which I was glad, because based on this show, I was like, she might actually die here, which would be nuts. I would have hated that, because I wanted her to get her revenge on Seryu and actually survive. But, I was really glad that she made it. It was definitely a cool ending. I was surprised, based on what she said, where she actually ended up falling for Tatsumi a little bit at the end. That seemed like it kind of came out of nowhere to me, so it kind of shocked me. But I guess she has feelings for him now, and very anime-like. I was just like, it went from Chelsea to Mine, out of nowhere, seemingly, Mine. But, they have their whole fate thing. They even talked about it a little bit in this episode, and him freaking out, and then her thinking about it, and then her freaking out. So, it's going to be in their heads, I guess. But now that's kind of what she's going to use to fuel her weapon, which I think is interesting. And I'm a little worried that she's not gonna make it because she's like, once all this is over, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm like, oh, I feel like she's gonna die now after she said that, so I'm a little scared. But ultimately, that's the show in general. You kind of have to be. But I'm looking forward to the series ending. I think we might only have like a month left for the show. It might only be like 4 or 5 episodes. So it's basically at the end. I believe the next episode is where the minister's son finally comes back into play. So I'm looking forward to that. But this was definitely a fun episode. Once again, the reason this is so late, as usual, this stupid DVR didn't record it. I don't know what's going on with the thing. Like, it recorded last week, which honestly, like, blew my mind. And then it went right back to, it didn't record again. I'm like, it comes on, like, Akame got killed and Parasite come on one after the other. And I'm pretty sure Akame got killed is first. And it's just like, I don't know why it never seems to record. So I always have to wait for it to end up on demand before I can watch it. So that's why this is so late once again. It's just like, I don't know what the deal is. It's like nothing. It's not like anything else is recording. It's like 12:30 or 1 a.m. or something when the Akame Got Killed comes on. So it's just like, I don't know what the deal is. But for whatever reason, recorded last week like a miracle. And then this week it went back to normal where it's like, yeah, it's set to record, but it won't. So I apologize for this being so late, which is kind of usual for this show. Is like always way later. But it was definitely a fun episode. Definitely want to know what you guys thought about it. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And I want to know what you guys think about mine actually killing off Seryu in this episode. For me, I enjoyed it. It was a great fight. And like I said, I knew it would never happen because it's Seryu. Especially because it's Seryu. Wave, I really hope Wave doesn't die. I already lost one guy because he was the family man, and I was like, I hope he doesn't get killed, and he definitely died. So I already lost that guy who had a wife and kid, which really made me a little sad. And now we have Wave, who I'm like, I really hope he doesn't die. Kurame, she's clearly just insane and evil, as well as Death. Both of them can just vanish, and I wouldn't care. The wing guy, I'd say about the same thing for him, pretty much. Wave is just on the wrong side of the fence, and I just hope he doesn't get killed. Like, he's the last person that I care about for the Jaegers. I'm like, I just hope he doesn't die. But for Seryu, I knew she would never end up turning and working with Night Raid or anything like that. So I enjoyed the battle. I just kind of wish we could have seen more of her happy, honestly, because just seeing her in like her weird sort of demon state. We did a little bit. She was playing with the kids and stuff early in the episode. But mostly it's like her weird, gross demon face and stuff, and it was just crazy. But I enjoyed it. It was pretty much inevitable, I guess. I just hadn't really been thinking about how they were going to do it. But we're getting to the end, so people are about to start dropping like flies, I think. So we'll see, what happens. But I definitely want to know what you guys thought about it. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.